Welcome everybody to the NARC Bragging Rights series for tonight's event here at Lernerville, as we've got a big one with our 100 lap feature and our first night with a little bit of prize money going out. We'll get more into that in just a little bit. My name is Thomas Brandon. This is the eSports Racing Network that you are watching, and with me as always in the booth is my man Bryce Barris. Bryce, you've ran Lernerville quite a bit. What is it going to take for these guys to win here tonight?
I mean, everything I run here is around the top, so try to stay on the track. I assume these cars go the same way?
Yeah, for the most part, I would think it's probably going to be roughly the same way, as usually it's going to be the top that is the fast line, at least early on in the night, and you're going to see a cushion build up. And eventually you're going to see people right on the edge, and those who can stay up there without going over are usually going to be fast. So we'll see. With the 100 laps, the track could definitely change a whole lot in that time.
I would think there'll be a bunch of different racing grooves after 100 laps.
Yeah, I would think so too. Even with these cars, man, they do run the track in a little bit different than the open wheel stuff that we normally run, but they also make it really dusty, so it's going to be tough for these guys to see, especially if they're stuck back in traffic.
Oh, I didn't even realize that these made it real dusty.
Yes, may make it extremely dusty, so it'll be interesting to see what happens.
Yeah, Lernerville's a pretty unique track with just the way everything works, and falling off is one thing I like to do a lot.
Yeah, it does make it interesting. It's actually one of my favorite tracks on the sim, so hopefully we'll have a good night of racing. But right now, the guys are on the track just running it in, and we'll have qualifying here in just a few moments, so stick around. This is the eSports Racing Network, and you are watching the NARC Bragging Rights series presented by Garmin Properties.
What's your favorite car to run here?
You know, I really like all of them. I enjoy every car here, to be honest, with the exception of Street Stocks and Legends, because I don't like those cars anywhere. But all of them are actually really fun here. The non-wing sprint cars are fun here. Even the dirt midgets. This is probably one of my favorite big tracks for the dirt midgets. It's really racy. It's a lot of fun. It's good in these big blocks too. The big blocks are usually really racy here. We do get multiple grooves. It takes a lot of time, those sometimes, for the track to really run in. But like we said, with the 100 laps, couple heat races tonight, Constellation, it should definitely be a multi-groove track by the time we get to the feature. So it'll be interesting to see. But hot laps is over, as we are now set for qualifying. And first one that we're going to ride along here with is the 2022-23 iRacing World of Outlaws Sprint Car Champion Tyler Schell on the track for his first lap. Schell up on the high line like we talked about. And his first lap so far is going to be quick time with a 15.06. It's 15.06 for Tyler Schell. And that'll be his quickest lap of his qualifying run. So far he is on the top of the leaderboard as of right now. Still got a few more guys to qualify.
You can see the top starting to wear in again.
Yeah, these guys are going to wear it in pretty fast, as we've now got Trevor Royer on the track for his qualifying run. And Royer's best lap is a 15.34, 15.34. So that's going to be 17th overall for Royer. So he's going to have some work cut out for him tonight. But interestingly enough, we do have an invert in tonight's heat races. Top 4 will be inverted, so that should shake things up a little bit. And it looks like qualifying is over.
Shell is just fast in everything that he gets into.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what we've pretty much realized about on everything. So, your order for tonight, Tyler Shell sets quick time with the 15.05. Then it's going to be Jake Sonatag, Joshua Hart, Jeremy Prey, Patrick Cobb, rounding out the top 5 with Greg Keppel, Braden Eiler, Ryan Scheidt, James Tiernan, and Ryan Wagenschutz rounding out the top 10. So, heat race number 1 lining up on the track, and tonight we've got pole position for heat race number 2 will get $20 tonight. So tonight's payouts are courtesy of the SSR Elite teammates or team members here at the School of Sim Racing, and Bruce Klingon put up the money for tonight's heat race number 2 pole position. Sitter will get $20. So all right. Heat race number 1 is heading on to the track.
The heat race 2 pole setter has to be eligible, correct?
Yes, they do. So we'll see who that is. If the driver is not eligible, and to be eligible, they have to have participated in 6 races counting tonight. So if that driver is not eligible, those prize funds will be rolled over to future purses. So on the pole for heat race number 1 is going to be Ryan Wagenschutz, and outside of Wagenschutz is Braden Eiler. On the inside of row number 2, we've got Jeremy Prey, and outside of Prey is Tyler Shell. Then it's going to be Brandon Garman and Ted York in row number 3, with Randy Shreves and Brooke Marquis in row number 4. All right. So over the last few weeks, you guys have heard me, sarcastically singing the praises of SDK because their stuff hasn't been working, but we did get it to where it is finally working. Had to, basically do a bunch of crap, and it's now working. So I would like to shout them out now that things are going well. So thank you, SDK, for that as we are underway. And Wagenschutz with a nice jump on the rest of the field there as he heads right through the middle, with Prey right behind him as Eiler and Shell drop back, and Eiler off the track, gets it back on, and then goes off once again. So tough break for Braden Eiler, as he's going to have a long ways to go to work himself back up to the front here, as Ryan Wagenschutz has already opened up a almost 1 second lead over second place Jeremy Prey, who's got a bunch of heat breathing down his neck, with Tyler Shell and Brandon Garman looking to get into that second place position. Shreves looking down to the inside of York for 5th place, but not able to get it right now. That top side just a little too fast early on here in the race. These cars are all about momentum, and when you can build it up on that high side, it makes it really hard to pass. As Prey starting to close in the gap there on Wagenschutz.
Looks like Wagenschutz tried to run the bottom in 1 and 2 in that last corner, and it didn't work out very good.
No, it didn't. Prey was able to close the gap quickly on him, and he brought Tyler Shell in the 85 with him, as both of them right there behind Wagenschutz with just 2 laps to go this time by.
Like Garmin just fell off the top, maybe.
Shell looking to the inside of Prey, but not able to get anything going there out of 2 as Wagenschutz takes the white flag here in heat race number 1. Wagenschutz into 3 and out of 4, and he will get the win in heat race number 1 tonight, followed by Jeremy Prey, Tyler Shell, and Ted York.
Crazy how much of a momentum car these cars are. I mean, you could really see they just kind of stacked up top and followed the leader, and there wasn't really anywhere to go to get around people.
Yeah, it is pretty
Which makes
crazy.
the dirt even harder to overcome.
Yep. All right, so on the pole for heat race number 2 is Joseph Grandy, and unfortunately does not make the cutoff. So our $20 payout for tonight will be rolled over to future persons. But outside of Grandy is Ryan Scheidt. On the inside of row number 2, we've got Patrick Cobb, and outside of Cobb is Jake Sonntag. Then it's going to be Ernie Williams and Trevor Royer in row number 3, with Christian McCartney riding shotgun in the 7th position.
This bragging rights series has created some interesting races and guys that don't normally run some other cars in other cars. It's kind of cool to see them jump in and be able to run everything.
Yeah, it is. It makes it definitely interesting where you see not only a bunch of different cars in the series itself, but like you said, different drivers switching over and trying different cars and running different disciplines when they typically will stay to, 1 or 2 on the dirt side. All right, pace truck is off, and we are underway as Grandy gets a good jump on Scheidt there and able to pull out into the lead. As we've got 3 wide for second place here, right off the back as Williams down low, and Jake Sonntag looking to grab that 3rd position quickly. He's able to get it right around the outside of Patrick Cobb as he now looks to the inside of Scheidt, trying to get that 2nd place position. Sonntag, the 2nd quick qualifier on the nights, definitely got the speed, and the inverts had him starting 4th, and he's already up 1 spot looking to get another here early on in heat race number 2.
I think he's running into the same thing that Show ran into. There's just, you got to carry the momentum up top, and there's not really a track to pass yet.
No, there's not. That does seem to be the issue that a lot of these guys are running into right now, is very difficult to pass, especially when it's just a 1-groove track as we have right now.
Hey, you can see Jake try to drop to the bottom and get some moment, or get a slider going, and it just killed all his momentum, and he had to fall back into the line.
Yep, not many places to go right now, as that doesn't seem to be bothering Joseph Grandy all too much, as he is up front right now, leading this race as he's got just 2 laps to go here in heat race number 2. And that's going to do it as Joseph Grandy gets the win, followed by Ryan Scheidt, Jake Sonntag, and Patrick Cobb in the 4th position.
Looks like the top's starting to slick up a little bit, so maybe they can start getting another groove worn in a little bit. Do these cars run through the slick okay?
They do. They do run through the slick okay, just like in real life where these guys will just, kind of barrel right through the middle of the slick. They do the same thing on the sim. All right, heat race number 3 on the track as we've got Kurt Ney on the pole, and outside of Ney is James Tiernan. Then in row number 2, it's going to be Greg Keppel with Joshua Hart, followed by Ken Borey and Eric Whitner in row number 3 with Glenn McTavish in the 7th position. All right, we are underway as Tiernan gets a good jump there on the outside and was able to get around Ney for the lead. As Ney's going to have to follow in line as Keppel slides up trying to get in front of Hart there for that 3rd position, but not able to do it as they are 3 wide here for that 3rd position. Keppel comes down right in front of Borey. Borey able to save it as they stay 3 wide through 1 and 2, and now Hart able to pull ahead of Keppel as Keppel falls in line on the high side.
And speaking of guys that you don't see in other cars very often, I don't think I've ever seen Tiernan in anything but a non-wing or a midget.
Yeah, he's been known to run other stuff. Oh, as Hart goes off the track, and that's going to move Keppel up into the 3rd position. A tough break for Joshua Hart as he just went up and over there in 3 and 4, which allowed Keppel to move up and Borey. But yeah, back to Tiernan. Tiernan was actually a pro in the wing sprint cars for a long time, a few years ago, and I think his last season in the World Outlaws Tour was 2019 or 20. Since then, he's been mostly a non-wing guy. But apparently it doesn't seem to matter. He can pretty much drive anything by the looks of it.
Seems to be a thing with the pro guys. They can drive just about anything.
Yeah, they can, and it doesn't really matter what it is. As Tiernan's going to get the win here in heat race number 3, followed by Kurt Ney, Greg Keppel, and Ken Borey in the 4th position. All right, B main now lining up on the starting grid. And apparently I spoke too soon about the SDK overlay.
Oh no, did it just stop again?
Yeah, it stopped working 2 heat races ago. Literally about 30 seconds after I gave it props. All right, your B main is now on the track. Bryce, how many drivers are going to the A main? Does it say?
We got 13 going to the feature, so everybody's making it.
Everybody's making it. So this will determine starting position in the feature. So on the pole is going to be Ted York with Patrick Cobb to his outside. And row number 2, we've got Ken Borey and Randy Shreves with Glenn McTavish and Christian McCartney in row number 3. Then it's going to be Brandon Garman and Ernie Williams Jr. in row number 4 with Eric Whitner and Trevor Royer in row 5. Then in row number 6, it's going to be Braden Eiler and Joshua Hart with Brooke Marquis starting in row number 7.
That was really weird to see Braden in a car with number 37 on it.
Yeah.
Green, green, green.
All right, and we are underway, and York quickly jumps right up to the top as we've seen so far all day long, but it does not matter as Patrick Cobb threads the needle between York and Borey, able to grab the lead there, coming out of turn 4, completing lap number 1. Now Randy Shreves comes up as we've got a 4-car battle here for the lead with Cobb, Borey, Shreves, and York all duking it out. Oh, and York gets a little high there, gets up into the wall, and that's going to collect Ernie Williams Jr. So tough break for York as he was running up front there and just barely clipped that wall. And Ernie Williams Jr. with no place to go got collected in it. Back up front, Patrick Cobb in the lead as he's opened up about a half a second gap over Kim Borey in second place, with Randy Shreves now trying to grab that runner-up spot from the 56 car.
Looks like the bottom might be able to come in here pretty quick. Shreves is staying down there and making it work a little bit.
It will eventually as the top gets slicker and slicker up there and the cushion gets thinner and thinner. You know, one of the things about Lernerville is there's no walls. There's no, you know, the cushion doesn't really build up. It just gets all the marbles get kicked off the top over the edge, so it gets really, really thin up there as the night goes on.
And every time somebody falls off, they put a hole in the cushion, and then it leads to more people falling off that way.
Yes, it does. Up 7 spots, we've got Braden Eiler, who started in the 13th position, is now up to 6th as he is way up on that top side, right on the edge. And he's now got Garmin and McCartney in his sights as he's looking to move up into that top 5. Eiler looking to thread the needle between the 92 and 18, and he does. Beautiful move out of 2 as he cuts in between them and then puts a slide job on them to make the pass, and that's going to make it 9 spots that Eiler's moved up here in this B main. Back up front, it is still Patrick Cobb as he's got Ken Borey in the 56 and looking to get past. Borey's closed the gap on him as Cobb pulls away coming out of the corner.
Eiler sliding up for 3rd.
Borey all over the backside of Cobb here. We're just about to the end of our B main event. Borey now looking to the inside. not able to make the move as Cobb holds on. Gets the win in our B main event. So Patrick Cobb is your winner, followed by Ken Borey and Braden Eiler. Moved up 10 spots to finish third. So that'll definitely help his chances in tonight's A main event.
After that race, I'd say Eiler looked like he's got something figured out right now.
Yes, he does. He's usually really good in these cars, so we'll see if he can carry that over to the feature. So, warm-up time here in this event. We're going to take a quick break as we get things set for the feature, and we'll be right back with tonight's 100-lap main event from Lernerville. This is the eSports Racing Network, and you are watching the National Auto Racing Club Bragging Rights Series presented by Garmin Properties. Don't go anywhere. All right, we are back as we are getting ready for tonight's A main event. And for tonight's main event, the leader on lap number 50, if they are a qualifying driver, will receive $10 for that lap, I'll say. So the leader at the halfway point of tonight's feature, which is lap 50, if they are a qualifying driver, will receive $10 courtesy of Ted York from SSR Elite Racing Team. If that driver is not eligible, that money will be rolled over to the future person. So we will see who is leading lap 50 in tonight's A main event. All right. We've got 100 laps to go, not 9.
Close.
Good to see that things are being consistent. All right. So, your starting grid for tonight's 100-lap A main event on the pole is going to be Ryan Wagenschutz with Joseph Grandy on the outside. Then it's going to be James Tiernan and Jeremy Prey in row number 2 with Ryan Scheidt and Kurt Ney in row 3. Row number 4 is going to be Tyler Schell and Jake Zonatag with Greg Keppel and Patrick Cobb in row number 5. Then it's going to be Ken Borey and Braden Eiler, followed by Randy Shreves and Brandon Garman. Then we've got Christian McCartney, Trevor Royer, Joshua Hart, Glenn McTavish, Eric Whitner, Ernie Williams Jr., and Ted York. And we are underway.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is out.
And it did not take long for us to have a caution.
It was towards the back. Somebody got sideways, I think.
Oh, and it looks like Joshua Hart just got tapped there by the 16, got a little loose and came around. So, tough break for Hart there.
These big cars starting side by side can definitely lead to some rough starts.
Yes, it can.
These cars don't hardly like to turn when they're up and on the rails, or on the rail set.
On the bars. And we're going to try and see if we can fix this really quick.
It would be nice to know how many laps we actually have to go.
Yes, it would, but apparently that's not going to happen. So,
Green, green, green.
we'll deal with what we've got as we're back under green. Wagonships with the lead over Brandy and Tiernan. Wagonships on the bottom, but Brandy's slowly reeling them in. But with only 5 laps down, we got a long ways to go.
Yeah, it looks like everybody's just kind of playing it safe and putting in laps, and there's a ton of laps to go.
Yes, there is. Nothing wrong with that. Tyler Shell lifts to the bottom.
It's not something we're used to on dirt side usually. Usually on dirt side, you're all out for 30 laps.
Well, behind Shell is going to be his teammate, Braden Eilers. Eilers already moved up 6 spots as he's now up into the 6th position. Eilers started 12th in this race and has moved up 6 spots and is now trying to make his way into the top 5 as we still have 88 laps to go this time by. Eilers closed in on the back of Shell, now looking to the inside. Eilers looking to see if he can get around both Shell and Prey. And he does, as they're 3 wide heading to 3 and 4. Eilers with a 2-for-1 slide job. Will he be able to pull it off? As he does, as he's able to get around both of them there out of turn 4. As they both fight back on the inside as they're still 3 wide down the backstretch heading into 3 and 4 once again. This time Shell's going to return the favor, slides the 117 but is unable to get around the 37 as Eilers holds on to the 4th position, and has got his eyes set on the top 3. Back up front, Wagenschutz has now got his hands full as Grandy is breathing down his neck as we are starting to see lap traffic come into the frame. As we've got a 3-way battle here for the top spot, as now a 4-way, as Eilers has now joined the party and looks to take the number 3 position away from the 2 car of James Tiernan, and he does. Eilers, the man on the move, as he has already moved up 9 spots so far, as we are only 20 laps into this 100-lap main event.
He's definitely hooked up right now. You have to wonder if that's going to last all 100 laps.
Eilers drives it in, slides up in front of Grandy. Grandy able to cut back underneath and get the position back, but for how long will he be able to hold it as Eilers got the high side working in that 37 car. Eilers once again slide job in 3 and 4, splits between the leader and Grandy. Tagging the wall, but it doesn't seem to bother him as he's able to make the move, get back on behind that 518 and hold on to 3rd place. Oh, and he goes over the edge in 3 and 4. Tough break for Eilers.
Well, he's come through the field once already. Let's see if he can do it again.
What took him 24 laps to do, he still has 75 to go, so we'll see if he can make his way back up front. But right now we've got a battle for the lead as Grandy looks to the inside of Wagenschutz.
Lap traffic's going to become a factor here pretty quick.
Wagenschutz able to open up a little bit of a gap and give himself some breathing room as we've now got a battle here for the 3rd position as Tyler Shell is all over the backside of the 117 as Jake Sonatag in the 3 has also moved up a handful of spots as he looks to make his way towards the front. here on lap number 30.
Got a battle for third with Shell and Prey right now.
Yes, we do, as Shell is able to get around the 117 and take over that third place position as Grandy once again looks to the inside of Wagenschutz. Wagenschutz holding strong right now early on in this feature.
The top side still definitely seems to be the preferred way around.
Yes, it does, if you can hit it, but we've already seen Braden Eiler go over the top once in this feature. And this track is slicked off quite a bit, and it's only going to get worse. As now the leaders are neck deep in lap traffic. Wagenschutz and Grandy both right on the top there in 3 and 4 as they run through the middle of the slick in 1 and 2, which seems to be working for them at this point. Grandy closing right up on Wagenschutz's backside this time, but is unable to get a run and make a move. Grandy looks to the inside, but once again not able to get around the 66 of Wagenschutz. Wagenschutz with the right rear literally hanging over the top of the cushion. You've got to wonder what that's going to look like in another 30 or 40 laps, as we are yet to reach the halfway point of this 100-lap main event.
Yeah, 1, 2 even right now. They're just right there with each other.
Oh, as we've got a caution on the speedway, it looked like the 91.
Gurney.
Ernie Williams Jr. getting a little high there in 3 and 4. As he goes over the top and gets collected in the wall. Tough break for the 91 car. That's going to give these guys a breather.
It was a good long green flag run there.
Yes, it was, as we are at lap 41 of this 100-lap main event.
Looks like 3 and 4 is starting to get really thin up top. Do these cars, do they build marbles in the middle? Or does it just stay?
They do if they run the bottom. They do if they run the bottom, yep.
It doesn't seem like they get them up as high as some of the other cars.
Nah, because they're off the throttle way more. All right, so we are set up, ready to go as it's Wagenschutz, Grandy, Prey, Shell, Eiler, and Sonntag. Eiler has moved his way back up to fifth, so with the field bunched up, this should give Eiler in the 37 car a much better opportunity to catch these leaders, as he won't have to try to work his way all the way back up. As it looks like once again he goes over the top, and this time he's gonna flip over. In 3 and 4. no caution, it looks like, on the track as Tyler Shell
All
now.
right, man, caution is out.
And I
Caution
spoke
is
too
out.
soon. We do have a caution. Tyler got that run, went up to the high side, and just went over once again, and this time flipped it.
He was able to play around and get it back on its wheels.
And luckily was able to get it on his wheels. There we go. So if it rolls somewhat straight, he'll have a shot still. Potentially. I don't know if it's going to have him a lap down. We'll have to wait and see what the scoring says.
Do they have fast repairs on in this one?
I don't know if they do or not, to be honest.
Looks like Eiler just went in the pits. I wonder if he's getting a fast repair or if he's just
Well, they might not have a fast repair, but since the caution laps don't count, if you do have some damage, you can go to the pits and have the car worked on and get some repairs. You can get some optional repairs done and not go a lap down, but you can only enter and exit the pits under caution. So we'll have to see if he comes back out before we go green.
It looks like he's coming out right now. He got some repairs done, but that car still looks like it's in rough shape.
We'll see if he can make up any spots as we are back under green. Shell was able to move up into that second place position. He's now going to try to challenge for first. Shell sends a deep slider into 3 and 4. Wagonship's able to cut down underneath and get the position back. Here on lap 44 as we've got another caution on the speedway.
Looked like Nate was off around the top up there. Sliding over.
And Kurt Ney in the 74 car off the track, bringing out the yellow.
That entry into 3 is getting razor thin.
Yes, it is, and it's only going to get worse as this race goes on.
Then every time somebody falls off, it just blows another hole through the cushion and gives you less and less to hold on to.
Yes, it does. Eiler once again in the pits trying to get his car fixed. Still shown on the lead lap, so we'll see if he's able to make his way back up towards the front. But right now, it's going to be the battle for cash because we are on lap 45 when we go back to green. If Wagonshitz is leading come lap 50, he will get $10 for leading at the halfway point. But Tyler Shell, who's in second place, is not an eligible driver. So if he's leading the race on lap 50, it will be rolled over. So we'll see if Wagonshitz, who's led every lap so far tonight, will be able to hold on to at least the halfway point. He's looked good so far, but he does have a world champion behind him now breathing down his neck.
Looks like only 1, 3, and 5 are eligible.
All right, single file restart, and we are back underway as Wagonship's able to open up a decent gap this time over Shell. As Shell cuts down off of 2 and gets a pretty good run down the backstretch, closing in fast on the 66 here. As Randy is right there behind both of them as he looks to get involved in this party. Wagonship's down low with the slider move up to the top there as Shell now cuts underneath. That's going to give him the opportunity to throw it in there deep. Wagonshitz gets really high, cuts underneath Shell, and he got his inside as they head into 1 and 2. Now Wagonship's going to throw a slide job on the 85, and he cuts back down underneath, and now we got a drag race down the backstretch once again, and another slide job in 3 and 4 as these guys are just trading sliders back and forth. Wagonschutz grabs a lead once again, but Shell able to cut underneath there. As we've got 2 laps to go to halfway. And it's Tyler Shell now in the lead as Wagonschutz looks to see if he can get back around that 85 cars. He's got a lap and a half to do it. Wagonschutz up high as he loses second place now to Joseph Grandy. Grandy had that bottom working, and Shell is going to be our leader at the halfway point, which means our purse money for tonight's event will be rolled over to a future event. So, back to racing as we've now got a 2-car battle here for second place, and we've got a caution on the speedway. Oh, and looks like Brandon Garman in the 18 car got a little low into the grass and collected the 058 there. And tough break, bringing out the caution.
Yeah, that grass down there is just like a skating rink, man. That stuff is super slick if you get into it too much.
Yes, it is. Once you hit it, you just start sliding. All right, so we're just after the halfway point. Tyler Shell is your leader, followed by Joseph Grandy, Ryan Wagonschutz, Jeremy Prey, Patrick Cobb. Then it's going to be Jake Sonatag, Ryan Scheidt, James Tiernan, Eric Whitner, Trevor Royer rounding out the top 10. Whitner up to 9th, started 19th in this feature. So he's moved up 10 spots so far, so he's definitely on the move. We'll have to see if he can continue his climb through the second half of this race as Tyler Shell gets an amazing jump over Joseph Grandy in the second position, and Shell opens up about a half a second lead here before we even finish this restart lap.
It looks like a lot more people are starting to use the bottom. The bottom must be catching up with the top finally.
Sonatag on the outside of Cobb, looking to move up into that 5th place position as we've got ourselves a 4-car battle here with Wagonschutz, Prey, Cobb, and Sonatag all fighting for that last podium position. Please pay 0 attention to the final lap sign there in the top left corner of the screen. It is 100% incorrect right now. Like to give my personal thanks once again to the SDK Gaming Overlay. So back up front, Tyler Shell in the lead as Joseph Grandy looking to see if he can close in on him, which he is. Shell now on the bottom as Grandy's been down there the last handful of laps making it work. As this track has become an ice skating rink out there. These guys are searching everywhere for a line to see what's going to give them the best chance to find some speed. Whitner now up another position. He's up 12 spots total as he's now into that 7th place position as he's got Cobb and Sonatag now in his sights, looking to get up into that top 5. Whitner and Eiler, both of them putting their left front in the grass on 1 and 2 as we've got another caution on the speedway here on lap 62.
And I just cut out for quite a while there.
And it looks like the 74 car of Ney hits the wall hard, and that looks like it's going to end his day as he is missing the front half of his car. So tough break for Kurt Ney in the 74 car, as the top of 3 and 4 claims yet another victim. So here on lap 62, we got 38 laps to go.
Kind of crazy how 3 and 4 is the one that eats cars, and it's the one that gets the closest to the top.
Yes, it is.
At least if you go off in 1 and 2, you got a chance to not die.
Yep. All right, so with 38 laps to go, Tyler Schell is in the lead. And we will be right back in just a second to bring you the rest of this race. Stick around. Pace truck is off and we are back underway as Tyler Schell in the lead with Joseph Grandy and Jeremy Prey now up into that 3rd position, looking to stay up on the podium as Schell in the 85 car running a unique line as he goes down low and slides all the way up to the wall there in 3 and 4. Sonatag now looking to get up onto the podium as he's up on the top side. One of the few cars still running up on that thin little cushion up there. Gets around Wagenschutz and is looking to do the same to the 117 with Jeremy Prey. After a strong start to the race, Wagenschutz is now falling back to that 5th place position.
All right, man, caution is out. Caution is out.
We've got a caution on the speedway, and it looks like the 38 of Greg Keppel.
Looks like 3 and 4 claimed another one.
Yes, it did. Once again, cars flipping over. Luckily, he was able to land on all 4s.
You gotta wonder how broke that car is. Looks like Keppel's staying out. He's not going in to try to get any repairs done.
Green flag, green flag.
All right, we're
Sure.
back underway.
Shell got a really good jump there off the start.
He did, but Grandy looking to close back in on him is now Jake Sonatag in the 3 car is up to that 3rd position. So Sonatag, slow and methodical, has been moving up through the field as we've got a caution on the speedway once again. Oh, and this time it's going to be Christian McCartney in the 92 as he climbs the front stretch wall and gets back on all 4s.
Phew.
So tough break for McCartney there, hitting the wall, but luckily he was able to get back on all 4s and drive away. So
Yeah, the one wall in this place, and it'll still reach out and grab you. It looks like Eiler's making his way back through the field. He's back up to 7th again.
yes, he is. He is up to the 7th place position. So your running order right now: Tyler Show with Grandy, Sonatag, Prey, and Wagenschutz, your top 5. As we are coming to 30 laps to go this time by for Tyler Shell. Sonatag looking to the inside of Grandy, trying to get that 2nd place position. As we've got a battle here for 4th place as Eiler gets to the outside of Cobb, looking to make a move. And once again, apparently I have got the worst announcer's curse there is for Braden Eiler, because every time I show him and talk about him, the dude goes off the top of the track. So I just won't bring him up anymore for the rest of the race. Tough break as we've got a caution on the speedway, and I believe that is the 66 car of Ryan Wagenschutz. It's right after Eiler did it, Wagenschutz did it. Was able to keep it off the wall as there's the 37 car once again. So
I think Eiler is officially done. Looked like after that contact there, his car was smoking.
all right, here on lap 73, it's Tyler Shell with Joseph Grandy and Jake Sonatag rounding out your podium, and Jeremy Prey, Patrick Cobb rounding out your top 5. Then it's going to be Eric Whitner, who's moved up 13 spots to 6, followed by James Tiernan, Ryan Scheidt, Joshua Hart, and Ted York. Ted York, who's also moved up 11 positions. So good run so far for York and Whitner as they've moved up quite a bit through the first 74, 75 laps of this 100 lap race. So we're getting down to the last quarter of this, and it'll be interesting to see how we can finish it out.
It looks like right now it's pretty much any line that you can run comfortably.
Yeah, wherever you can go without spinning your tires seems to be the ticket here. And we're going to have ourselves a 25 lap shootout here for the win as Shell once again gets a commanding jump over. Oh, and Sonatag gets together there into the back of Grandy. Oh, and that's going to drop him back. Tough break for the 3 car as he was looking to get in that second place position and just got tapped on the nose and knocked him down into the grass. Very tough racing deal for Sonatag and the 3 car.
He's still got plenty of time to make up for it, but there's a lot of cars in front of him now.
Yes, there is, and the track is getting slower and slower.
All right, man. Caution is out.
Oh, there goes
Caution is
Royer.
out.
Turn 3 and 4 bites another one.
Tough break for Royer in the 90 car. As like Bryce just said, 3 and 4 grab another victim.
I bet that's not going to be the last one we see either. I think turn 3 and 4 it's gotten 7 people. And it got Braden 3 times.
Yeah, and that's just in the feature. It also got him once in the heat race.
Yep. He's fast here in every car, though.
Yes, he is. He's fast in the big blocks everywhere. He's very fast. All right, so it'll be 25 laps to go when we go green. It's Tyler Shell with Joseph Grandy, Jeremy Prey, James Tiernan, Eric Whitner now up into the top 5.
Whitner's having himself a heck of a race.
Yes, he is. Hard charger of the night so far as he's moved up 13 spots into that 5th place position.
Green, green, green.
Shell cuts down to the bottom there for the restart this time as he sweeps down into 1 and 2 low as everybody follows suit except Tiernan in the 2 car who's up on the top side. Whitner now looking to the bottom as he's trying to get around the 2 of Tiernan. Oh, and Prey looks to the inside of Grandy. That was a close call, but that's going to give the opportunity to Tiernan as he now makes it. Oh, and Grandy gets loose there in front of the 2 car, and that's going to send him tumbling towards the back. Tough break for Grandy.
Caution is out. Caution is out.
We got one flipping.
Oh, and it looks like Patrick Cobb was just an innocent bystander there. There's also Bory in the 18 car also got collected. So tough break for Bory, Scheidt, and Cobb as those 3 got tangled up there on the front stretch. All right.
Another guy sneaking up for the hard charger. Ted York's from 21 up to 6 right now.
Yes, it is. He's also moved up 15 positions. Whitner in 4th has moved up 15 spots. Hart has moved up 12, and York has moved up 15. That is your 4th, 5th, and 6th place drivers on the running board. We are under green as it's Shell, Prey, and Tiernan. Prey down low, Tiernan up top, and here comes Eric Whitner on the bottom as well. Whitner, like we said, moved up 15 spots into that 4th place position as he's now looking to put himself on the podium as we've got 20 laps to go this time by. Prey running right through the middle of the tracks, got his hands full as here comes the 2 car up top on that cushion. One of the few drivers up there making it work, and right now it is working as he's making his way around the 117 car. Tiernan with a heck of a run down the front stretch now, gets the nose on the 117 of Prey, looking to get around him here as we've got just 18 laps to go in this 100-lap race. Prey able to pull ahead now out of turn 2. Tiernan did not get the run that he was looking for out of 2 that time, as he does out of 4 and able to close back up on Prey. But back up front, Tyler Shell is loving this because as those 2 battle, he is slowly pulling away as he's opened up a 1.3 second lead over the 2nd place car of Jeremy Prey. Shell slowly pulling away from the rest of the field as Tiernan once again gets the nose on Prey past the line, but Prey able to pull back ahead in 1 and 2 down the backstretch. Behind these 2, Joshua Hart hanging on to that 4th place position as Eric Whitner had a little issue and has dropped all the way back to the 13th place position. Tough break for him as he was moved his way up through the field all race long. Back up front, Tiernan and Prey still battling for that runner-up spot. Tiernan seems to have a slight advantage there out of turn 4 that time, and this time he's going to clear him. We'll have to see if he can hold on to it, though. Prey's been really fast through 1 and 2, but this time I don't think it's going to happen as he's able to hold on to the 2nd spot there in the 2 car, James Tiernan. We've got 11 laps to go this time by. Tyler Shell's got a 1.5 second lead over James Tiernan. Will he have enough time to catch the 85 car of Shell with just 10
Tiernan
laps
definitely
to
has
go?
the top working.
Yes, he does, but Shell really got that bottom working as he is just rolling the bottom here at Lernerville. Hear him off the throttle a ton through these corners as this track has become nothing more than a parking lot that's covered in ice.
It doesn't take much throttle at all to spin the wheels.
No, it doesn't. Not when you've got a big block.
Puts all that power straight to the ground.
Not sure Tiernan's going to be able to do it as it looks like Shell's able to widen that gap just a little bit as we've got 7 laps to go for Tyler Shell here at Lernerville in the NARC Bragging Rights Series event.
Like Jake was able to get around Hart for 4th.
He is up into that 4th place position. We'll have to see if he can put it on the podium here. We're going to have 5 laps to go this time by.
Looks like he might have a chance at Prey.
Sonatag on that high side, definitely got it working. One of the few drivers still running up there, but Prey's been very smooth and consistent on that middle groove all the way around the track. Prey now moves up a little bit. But Sonatag closes in.
All right, man. Caution is out. Caution is
And
out.
we've got a caution on the speedway. As it looks like, oh no, Joseph Grandy in the 518. Another victim of turns 3 and 4. Tough break for Grandy in the 518.
That might be the break that Tiernan needed.
It might be, because this is going to stack them up here, and we're going to have just 3 laps to go to close out this race. So on lap 97, it's Tyler Schell, followed by James Tiernan, Jeremy Prey, Jake Sonatag, and Joshua Hart rounding out your top 5 with Ryan Wagenschutz, Ted York, Brandon Garman, Glenn McTavish, Christian McCartney, and Ken Borey rounding out the top 10.
Green flag, green flag.
Schell with a good jump.
Got Sonatag and Prey side by side coming out of 4.
And it's going to be Tyler Schell for the win. With
Sonatag.
James Tiernan in second and Jake Sonatag rounding out the podium. Sonatag able to get around Prey there on the last lap.
Yeah, they were pretty side by side there. For at least 2 laps, they were side by side coming out of both sides.
So awesome run for Tyler Schell tonight, as we will see if we can get him here in the booth. As we are now joined by tonight's winner here at Lernerville, Tyler Schell. Tyler, you started off strong up towards the front. You were able to get the lead around the halfway point and then basically pull away from everybody the rest of the way. What was the car like during the first half, and how were you so much better during the second half of the race?
I think the first half I was trying not to fall off. Like, can't fall off one time, but biggest thing in the second half is I found that bottom line, doing that slider line thing in 3 and 4, and I feel like that was definitely helping, and it was a conservative line. It wasn't gonna fall off.
Well, you
And then,
definitely had it working.
yeah, and then with that caution with 2 to go, I knew the top was getting better, but I had a big enough gap that I didn't really need to push the issue, and then the caution came out, so went back up to the top and was able to come away with it.
Well, you had an awesome run tonight and able to put it together for the whole 100 laps. Congratulations on the win. Before we let you go, do you got any sponsors, family, friends you want to thank?
Yep, just like to thank everybody that's league on, you guys for sitting through and broadcasting the whole thing, and then I was at Sim Sport. And my sponsors, Mullen Tires, Jets Logistics, Pace by Tunican, and Roofco.
All right, man. Congrats on the win tonight. Also, congrats on the World of Outlaws Championship. Haven't had a chance to tell you that on the broadcast, so congrats on that as well. And hopefully we'll talk to you again soon. All right, so that was Tyler Shell, tonight's winner, as we are now going to be joined in the booth by the man who finished second place, James Tiernan. James, you're not really known for driving big blocks, but you had an awesome run tonight. You were able to put it on the podium. What was your plan for tonight in the feature, and how were you able to pull off that second place finish?
Bold of you to assume I even had a plan. I really didn't. I was going into this just because Monday night something to do. Narc's usually a lot of fun, and decided I'd throw it in here with Eiler and Tyler, and ended up second, which surprised the heck out of me. It looked pretty bleak. That first little stint, hopped over the curb there going into three. Um, it was just run where I think I could. I mean, up top it feels more like a non-wing sprint car than when you're trying to run it on bottom. So I guess I kind of found my momentum late in that race up there and kind of rode that out.
Well, you definitely found your momentum. You came on strong in the second half of the race there and were able to get a solid second place finish, man. So congratulations for that. And before we let you go, do you got any family, friends, sponsors you want to thank?
Yeah, for sure. First and foremost, I'd like to thank Roofco/Urgot Real Estate. If you're in the Indianapolis region, you need real estate or anything to do with roofing or solar panel installation, Roofco's the one to go to. Fairway Independent Mortgage Corporation, More Than Tires, Flow Racing, Anderson Speedway, home of the Little 500, Motorsports Beat, Jessup Logistics, Paints by the Tuna Can, BS Air, Over the Wall Photography, Cash Fence Apparel. And next, I'd like to thank you guys for throwing on the Bragging Rights League. Really looking forward to next week. We got the Silver Crowns coming to Eldora. Huge fan of that. And yeah, so thank you, Tommy Brandon. Thank you, the broadcast, and thank you, everyone at NARC that admins these leagues.
Yeah, you're welcome, man. Thanks for coming out, and yeah, congrats on the podium finish tonight, and hopefully we'll get to talk to you after the Silver Crown race.
That's the hope.
All right, man. Have a good one.
You do.
All right, so that was our second place finisher, James Tiernan, as we are now joined by tonight's third place finisher, Jake Sonntag. Jake, you moved up the field towards the front. You had a little trouble there, but lost a bunch of spots, but were able to climb back and put it on the podium. How were you able to come on so strong there towards the end and be able to recover after that little incident towards the end of the race?
Yeah, I think the biggest thing for those big 100-lap races or even the longer races, you just got to be patient. And the first half of the race or so, I just kind of waited and was patient enough and just made moves when I wasn't going to cause anything. And on that restart, I didn't expect Randy to go to the bottom like that, and I kind of slid in there and hit the brakes and just tapped the back of him there and got spun around there. But thankfully there was a couple more cautions in there where I was able to drive back through, but seemed like everybody was running the bottom towards the end of the race there, but so I just ran the top and just sent it on top and felt good up there and was able to get Jeremy at the line there.
Yeah, well, you were able to recover after that incident with Grandy and get a third place finish, so congrats on that. And before we let you go, do you got any sponsors, family, friends you want to thank?
I just got to thank you guys, you for putting on the broadcast every week. Thank Bruce and Kale and Brandon and all the SSR Elite members for putting up practice sessions and making this league happen. And it's a lot of fun coming out and racing with all the guys and make a lot of new friends every season.
All right, man. Well, congratulations on the podium finish tonight, and hopefully we'll talk to you again soon.
Thanks, Tommy. Have a good night.
Yep, you too. All right, so that was Jake Sonntag, your third place finisher. So once again, your results for tonight's race: Tyler Shell, your winner, followed by James Tiernan, Jake Sonntag, Jeremy Prey, and Joshua Hart rounding out the top five, with Ryan Wagenschutz, Ted York, Brandon Garman, Glenn McTavish, Christian McCartney rounding out the top 10, with Ken Borey, Joseph Grandy, Eric Whitner, Greg Keppel, Ryan Scheidt, Patrick Cobb, Trevor Royer, Braden Eiler, Kurt Ney, Ernie Williams Jr., and Randy Shreve. So that's going to do it for tonight's NARC Bragging Rights race here from Lernerville, presented by Garmin Properties. This is the Esports Racing Network. Thank you again for joining us. My name is Thomas Brandon, and with me is Bryce Barris, and we will be back in a couple of weeks for round number 8 as the Silver Crown cars will head to Eldora. So, everybody, have a good night. Bryce, my man, take care.
All right, we'll see you next week. Or
And
not
we'll
next week, the week after.
We'll see you in a couple of weeks. Everybody, have a great weekend. Talk to you later.